Chapter 3. "Oh, no is right," said Sam. We looked around the island for somewhere to hide. The choices were pretty slim. Our 3 trees or one big black rock. We climbed higher into our trees and did our best to look like coconuts. We couldn't see anything, but we could hear the splash of oars and bits of some truly awful singing. "What do you do with a drunken pirate? What do you do with a drunken pirate? What do you do with a drunken pirate early in the morning?" The small rowboat landed as I peeked through the leaves. 2 guys unloaded a chest. One was tall, the other was short. Both wore ragged pants and striped shirts. They were the ugliest and nastiest looking guys I've ever seen, until I saw the 3rd guy behind them. He was twice as big and twice as nasty looking. He was the one with the awful singing voice, and boy, did he have a face to match. Black hair stuck out everywhere. His black eyebrows and mustache bristled out front. Long black strands fell down his back, and a monstrous black beard with 4 pigtails, braided and tied with ribbons on the ends, fell down his chest. To top it all off, the whole mess was smoking. But the worst part of this guy was not his crazy hair or black outfit. The worst part was that he was equipped, just as Sam had predicted, with 4 pistols and 1 wicked-looking cutlass. "Bad luck," whispered Sam. "I'll bet anything that's Blackbeard and not the Walt Disney version." "Who's Blackbeard?" Fred whispered from his tree. "His real name was Edward Teach," said Sam. "Some people say he was the craziest and meanest pirate of all time." "Oh," said Fred. The 2 ragged guys staggered up the beach, lugging the chest between them. The giant black pirate counted off paces behind them. 18, 19, 20, 21, halt! They stopped right under the trees. "Dig here, lads. We bury our treasure, and we 3 be the only ones what know about it, eh? Who says I don't treat me prisoners well? Have another tot of rum." The big guy pulled a bottle out of one of the deep pockets in his long coat. He took a swig and passed it around. The 2 prisoners drank, then started digging. The pirate leaned against my tree. The top of his 3-cornered hat was right below me. Something in his hair was fizzing and smoking, and it smelled terrible. I wiggled my nose as quietly as I could and tried not to think about sneezing. The pirate jabbed the sand with his cutlass, then he started in with that singing again. "Come all you bold rascals what follow the sea, to me, hey, blow the man down. Haul in your sails and now listen to me and give me some time to ya dee. Just us 3, laddies? Not a soul around." Sam and Fred looked at me and bugged their eyes out. The hot sun beat down. Flies buzzed around. The prisoners drank and dug. The bearded pirate kept singing horribly. My foot, wedged behind a coconut, went to sleep. My arms felt like they were going next. Finally, after what seemed like hours, the 2 guys finished digging. The pirate slid his cutlass back in his belt. "Yer, mates, that would be perfect. Now lower her in there slowly." Slowly. While the 2 prisoners were lowering the chest, the pirate pulled out 2 pistols and shot them both. The bodies and the chest fell to the bottom of the hole with an ugly thud. The crazy pirate laughed and started croaking another song as he kicked sand in the grave. 16 men on a dead man's chest. Yo, ho, ho, and a bottle of rum. Drink and the devil will do the rest. Yo, ho, ho, and a bottle of rum. A drop of sweat rolled off my nose and fell down toward the singing pirate. It landed right on his hat. I closed my eyes and held my breath. He stood up, looked all around, and said, "Just us 3, lads. Guard our secret well. Har, har, har." And then he turned to go. That's when the fly decided to land on Fred's nose. Fred wrinkled his nose, blinked, and shook his head. The fly flew. Fred's Mets cap slid right off his head, spinning down, down, down until it landed with an awful plop right at the toe of the pirate's big black boot. He froze. He looked at the hat. Then he looked slowly up, up, up the trunk of our tree. Our eyes met, and my heart went as numb as my foot. The black pirate growled, "Arrgh," and grinned a crazy smile. I swear I saw his eyes flashing red. Then he pulled out 2 pistols, aimed, and fired. Chapter 4. Click went one pistol. Click went the other. "Damnation and hellfire! Forgot to reload. But you won't be going nowhere, will you now, lad?" My brain thought about diving out of the tree, but my body refused. The pirate tossed the 2 empty pistols aside and reached for 2 more. While he was reaching, Fred slid down the trunk of his tree and jumped to the sand. "Don't shoot! That's my hat!" The pirate whirled around and aimed the pistols at Fred. "Yer! This island be haunted for sure. They're dropping from the trees. Quick, lad. How many more of your kind are up there?" "2, said Fred. "3 against 1? Why, those are the best odds I've had in a long time." He tucked away 1 pistol and drew his cutlass. "Call out the rest of your spying monkeys. Let's fight to the death and devil take the hindmost." Suddenly, Sam spoke up. "But we can't fight you." The pirate squinted up into the trees. "What's that? What do you mean you can't fight? Why in Hades not?" We can't fight you because we'd lose our magician's license," Sam said. "What?" "Yeah, that's it," said Fred. "We're magicians from another time, and it's against magic rules for us to mess with anyone because we are so powerful." "Magicians, eh?" The pirate itched his chin with the barrel of his pistol. "I'm a bit of a magician myself. See that coconut? I'll make it disappear." He fired his pistol. The coconut Fred had been sitting behind exploded in a shower of milk and shredded coconut. The giant pirate laughed a scary, crazy laugh. "Now get your magic selves down here where I can see you." Sam and I started as fast as we could. "Thanks, Sam," I said. "And you best have some stronger magic than that," he yelled, "or you'll be disappearing too. Har, har, har." "Thanks a whole lot, Sam." At ground level, the guy looked even bigger, meaner, and uglier than from above. He did have some smoking rope hanging in his hair. He did have pigtails in his beard, and he did have crazy-looking red eyes. The pirate slung his pistols and looked the 3 of us over with those eyes. He lifted Fred's hat from the sand on the tip of his cutlass and jabbed it at him. "So you 3 pips are magicians from another time, are you?" He stared at Fred in his baseball uniform. Thin wisps of smoke curled up around his 3-cornered hat. "And does everyone dress this funny in your time?" Fred pulled on his hat and muttered, "Look who's talking. What was that, lad?" "Oh," I said, "enough talking." "Right you are," said the pirate, towering over us. "So let's see some magic. Otherwise, I might be thinking you were just spying on me and looking to steal a bit of me buried treasure." He smiled his nasty smile again. "And if I thought that, I'd have to kill you right now." Fred gulped. Eeny, meeny, miny, mo, catch a pirate by the toe. If he hollers, let him go. Eeny, meeny, miny, mo." Fred pointed to Sam. "Sam will now show you his powerful magic." The pirate wasn't smiling anymore. Sam stepped forward on wobbly legs. Hi there, Mr. Blackbeard," said Sam. The pirate's dark face went suddenly white. "How do you know my name?" "I read it," Sam said. "Where's your crystal ball?" "I don't need one. I even know your real name." "Do you now?" Blackbeard looked around, then bent forward. "And what might it be?" "Edward Teach." Blackbeard staggered back a step, and looked over his shoulder. "The devil, you say? You lads are magic." "My Uncle Joe always says to work the crowd when you got them believing." I saw my chance to impress Blackbeard even more with our magic. "And what's that in your boot?" I said. The big pirate looked down and jumped. What? I reached around his boot and held up a quarter. Blackbeard snatched it out of my hand and gave it a close look. "What strange doubloon is this? This wasn't in my boot before." Blackbeard stared at the quarter in his hand. "You mean you lads can use your magic to pull pieces of 8 right out of the air?" "Oh, sure," said Fred. "That's nothing for powerful magicians like us. We could do that all day long." "Could you now?" Blackbeard looked us over carefully. We took a step back. "I could use a few mates with your talents." The 3 of us began to back away slowly. Blackbeard slid his cutlass into his belt. And into his belt and put the quarter in his pocket. "Why don't you join me aboard my new ship?" "Oh, we'd love to, but I have a big history report due on Monday," said Sam. "I call her the Queen Anne's Revenge." Blackbeard pulled another loaded pistol from his endless collection and pointed it between my eyes. "Do you think that's a nice name?" I looked down the barrel of the biggest pistol I've ever seen. "That's a very nice name," I said. "Its previous owner ran into a bit of trouble, if you know what I mean." Sam looked down the length of the cutlass. "I know what you mean. Would you like me to join me on board?" Fred looked at Sam and me. "We'd love to." We marched down to the rowboat. The pirate ship anchored in the bay before us. Blackbeard, his loaded pistols, and his awful voice behind us. "Come all you bold pirates, what follows the sea, to me way, hey, blow the man down. Just get me some magic and treasure from me, and give me some time to blow the man down." "Pirates didn't really make guys walk the plank, did they?" asked Fred. "Nah, that's just in the movies," I answered, hoping it was true. Chapter 5.